Hey, good morning everybody and welcome to Coffee with Great Wealth Strategies. This is Eric Kenyon, also known as Regular Joe. And I've got my cup of brew here and I'm filling it up for you. And boy, I got some numbers for you guys today. Today is, we're going to talk about the retirement crisis. And just because I don't post on YouTube every day doesn't mean I'm not working, doesn't mean I'm out there not digging stuff up. And I've got some great stuff because we're going to talk about the crisis that's really involved, that's out there right now with retirement, and how appropriately we're talking about the crisis that happened on September 11th. Today is September 11th of 2013, and bless everybody out there and bless the United States. And let's see what we can do to understand a little bit about how us individually are not very blessed. I'm going to have in the bottom of this video, I'm going to put the sources for a lot of this data because these are shocking. I mean, and I have looked all this stuff up. I've been going through it, and I think it's really going to blow your mind. So let's start off, and a lot of these are just going to be, I'm pulling out statistics. I'm going to be looking at some straight statistics, and this is going to be a pretty short post. But I'm going to pull some numbers out and let you guys digest it and go do a little research after you hear about this. So first of all, I want to start with Social Security. And this is a fact that at the age of 65, you will be relying on Social Security. You will. The person sitting on the other side of this video, you are going to be relying on Social Security. That is, if it still exists. And here are the actual numbers, and this comes from the Social Security Administration. 2 of 3 people, these are Americans right now, 2 of 3 rely on Social Security for 50% of their income. That's retirees, people over the age of 65. 2 of 3 rely on it for 50% of their income. One of 3 people rely on Social Security for 90% of their annual income. 90%, that's 1 out of every 3 people over the age of 65 rely on 90% for Social Security for their income. And this is to blow you away. 1 of 4, 25% of the people over the age of 65 rely on Social Security for 100% of their income. So my question to you guys is, what happens if Social Security isn't there anymore? All right. Another statistic that 401ks, mathematically, you cannot produce enough to provide for retirement. One of the reasons for that is illustrated very clearly in PBS's video, The Retirement Gamble. I'd encourage you guys to go back to Great Wealth Strategies. I have the video on my homepage. 66 cents on average, 66 cents on average of every dollar that goes into a mutual fund is paid in fees to the brokerage houses, to the financial crooks out there. It's unbelievable. 85%, this is today, 85% of all trades in the stock market are now made by institutional high-frequency traders, meaning robots are out there competing to skim pennies off. Now, fortunately, I have some robotic software that competes with it, but that's a whole nother story. But 85% of all stock market trades are made by institutional high-frequency traders. Unbelievable. So we have reached this retirement crisis here in America. 1/2 of all Americans say that they cannot save for retirement right now. That's half, 50%. They can't even afford to save anything. The average retirement fund lost $12,000. Average retirement fund. They don't make money, they lose money, guys. You got to look out. Now remember, we've got hyperinflation going on. We've talked about this. Hyperinflation is going on within the market with the Federal Reserve printing $80 billion a month. That's why the market continues to go up. Christine Lagarde yesterday on September 10th, made an announcement saying that the Federal Reserve, she's not let them stop printing money. Interesting. So let's keep going. More statistics here. This might be a longer post than I thought. 1/3 of all Americans have no retirement saved at all. 1/3 have nothing saved. That goes back up to why so many people are relying on Social Security. 30% of American workers have less than $1,000 in savings and investments. This came from 2012's EBRI study. It's a survey that was out there, and I'm going to give you some links, like I said, but 30%, that means you probably out there have less than $1,000 in savings and in investments. 56% of workers have not calculated how much they need for retirement. Unbelievable. The US dollar has lost over 98% of its value since the early 1900s. 98% of its value since the early 1900s. The 2008 U.S. retirement accounts shrank. This isn't back in 2008. Retirement accounts shrank during the collapse by $2 trillion. This one I've highlighted in red. This kind of blew me away. This was a survey done by AARP in 2010, so it's 3 years old, but 40%, almost half of all baby boomers, 40% of baby boomers now believe, this is their belief, done by AARP, a survey, that they are going to have to work until the day they die. 40% of baby boomers are going to have to work until the day they die. How are we going to fix this? So over the course of a lifetime, an ordinary American can pay as much as, get this, real numbers here guys, $109,407, this is the average here, in retirement fees to their mutual fund providers. $109,000 is going to fees. Did you know that? Did you really know that? I have a feeling you might want to take a look at what the fees are and challenge your broker. The other thing I'd ask your broker to do is have them sign a form to do no harm, because most of the time they won't sign that form because they are there to sell you their products, period. That's all they, and if they sell anything or give you advice that doesn't align with their company, they'll be fired. It's called selling away. It's absolutely crazy, guys. A few other little tidbits here. 36% of Americans say they don't contribute anything at all to their savings. This is a quote from, this came from a study from CNBC. 87% of adults say that they're not confident about having money for a comfortable retirement. That came from lifehappens.org. And the expected retirement age is up to 67 right now from 63. Zero Hedge provided that. That's just happened in the last 2 years. By the way, just so you guys know, the number one way to retire rich, the number one way to retire rich in this country is to start your own business. Just keep that in mind. 99% of all Americans do not own their own private bank. They don't even know what that is, 99%. And 99% of all Americans consider their home their number one asset, when by definition it is actually their number one liability. So anyways, guys, sorry to bring you the bad news here. That's what Great Wealth Strategies is all about. Trying to shed the light on what's going on out there and maybe come up with some ideas of how you can adjust this and how you can plan for your retirement. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm none of those things. I'm regular Joe. I'm out here doing the research, finding all this stuff, putting it in one place so you guys can take a look at it. So jump into greatwealthstrategies.com. Visit us there. Primarily, the one thing I really ask you guys to do is to sign up for our newsletter. It's on the top right-hand side of our website, greatwealthstrategies.com. Sign up for our newsletter. It's free. It's got my daily blogs in it, and it's got these YouTube videos. We do the week in review. It gets sent out once a week to you. You don't have to really think about it. I'll send you an email. It's going to have all this, the YouTube and the blogs in it. So just sign up for the newsletter. I hope this doesn't discourage you, but empowers you to go out there and see how you can fix this so that you are not one of those 4 people relying on Social Security for 100% of your retirement after the age of 65. Thanks very much for joining us. Once again, Coffee with Great Wealth Strategies. This is Eric Kenyon, also known as Regular Joe, filling up your cup. Have a great one. Bye-bye.